the mullet. Is it down to skill or luck? Or maybe a bit of both? Welcome everybody, my name is Evan, and today I'm going to show you all how to catch the mullet in Aqua Grabber. Alright, here we go. So assuming that you know where the cream soda barrels are, I'm going to show how to do it in an efficient manner in case you're already having a bit of struggle getting to the mullet. You do not want to be having a hard time with anything else. You want to be already, familiar, smooth, and focused with good reflexes before you bother with the mullet. So, when it comes to the fish, it can easily be one of the most annoying parts. You can easily accidentally bump into him, and of course when you're in compressed air mode, that is to your demise. In this case, he can just be really annoying. So here's what you're going to do. In order to avoid the fluffy fish, just make sure that you're keeping track of where he is. And if you don't know where he is, try to avoid the center of the path. So at the very least, he may make you drop a cream soda barrel, but you don't have to bump all over the place and really hurt, your efficiency. As you just saw, I just avoided the center of the path. I moved slightly to the right, kept slightly to the right, where the fish would not quite be, and it was fine. Oh, and yes, I'm going to show the crab's treasure. So what you're going to do here, in case you don't want to catch the mullet, or you've already caught the mullet, and get straight to the treasure, or even the secret treasure, assuming you already know how to get the secret treasure, where you just wait for him to collect all the coins, here's my tip for collecting all of them. You already collect a few, steal one from the crab, and then you have plenty of time to grab the rest. In fact, it was so fast, the crab wasn't even crawling out and showing his little sad motions. He just got angry and walked back in, and that's when you would get that stamp, in case you haven't already. And if you want to get all the stamps, which I would highly suggest, that's what I would suggest you to do. It is both fast and pretty easy. Just make sure you do not extend too far, that the claw will make you bump off the bottom and move your sub too far away to do anything with the coins. In this case, I just had a little bit of a fumble. These are mistakes that I can afford to make. They're not a huge deal. They won't even really hurt you in a time trial, in case you want to practice for that too. But again, as you see, I'm avoiding the center of the path. I cannot stress how important that is. But pretty soon, we're going to get to the mullet here, okay? So, after you collect the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth one, you have the fifth one, you don't need to collect it. You can collect it afterwards, but that's entirely up to you. In this case, I'm skipping it. Hit the roof a few times just to guarantee that the worm is going to drop. In this case, once again, keep track of where the fish is, but keep avoiding the center of the path. So at the very least, in case the fish does get to where a cream soda barrel would be, well, in this case, it's a worm. So that's the goal. You're trying to get him to catch the worm. So just make sure that, obviously, you don't have him hit your sub. Stay in this little section here where if he pushes up, left, down, doesn't really matter, and then you just wait for him to pull you to the right. Now in this case, needless to say, I'm sure all of you would agree, this is the hardest part. It might even be harder than actually getting the mullet through, simply because this determines pretty much how the rest of it, the process, is going to go. So what I do, this is kept as simple as possible, but it will take time. You gotta be really patient. You cannot rush this process. You're going to go up and down, keeping your sub filled with mostly air, avoiding going too much to the left or to the right. As you can see, I'm only moving with slight horizontal movements. And I'm also at a bit of the mercy of the fish. Of course, if he pushes up, just make sure that you don't follow through and hit the ceiling. I go down and try to be moving down when you catch the mullet, and then stay in this opening corner. Whichever direction he moves, down is probably the most difficult, but in general, you should be fine if you have quick enough reflexes. And when he pulls to the left, just move slightly down. That was a close one. And then you're fine. Once he pulls to the left, you're good. And then here, just wait for him to push up, move through the 2 midair icebergs, and then you're fine. This is where the pink puffle comes in handy, where you don't necessarily need to move to the left in order to catch a naturally producing bubble. And there you go. What, you thought you'd see me actually collect it? Please, I'm a vegan. Besides, you can do it yourself. I believe in you, kid. Alright, and now the Amethyst. I'm sure at least half of you already know how to do this, but just in case you want to do everything in one take, the mullet, the secret treasure, and the Amethyst, you can get 2,450 coins in one gameplay. It takes a little bit of time and some skill, as we've already talked about. But in general, you should be fine. When you're going through the small pufferfish, stay at the top right. When you're going around the big pufferfish, don't worry about the small pufferfish rotating in, just make sure you go clockwise. You get some air before you get the Amethyst, needless to say. And then you're going to go in reverse by going counterclockwise. Which sounds counterintuitive, like you have to go around more, but it's actually way easier to do it that way. In this case, I bounce off the bottom. That'll help give you momentum to shoot through, but that's completely optional. Just don't drop the Amethyst amidst this tunnel, or else it'll get, well, it's not impossible. It's just a lot harder to pick it back up. It'll be easy to pick it up and then it'll just drop itself for whatever reason. In this one, I did it without the mullet to show that you can do it with the fish. Just keep track of where he is. Just take it slow, especially if you're in compressed air mode or time trial. And that's it.